Welcome back. You're watching the Urban Debate. Let's turn our attention now to story number 3 this evening. TMC workers staged a protest, massive protest in Kolkata in front of the ED office while accusing the centre of misusing central agencies to seek political vendetta. TMC workers demanded Amit Shah's arrest, claiming that since he was the Union Home Minister when cattle smuggling case emerged, TMC workers clashed with the central agencies and officials in Kolkata. Let me first go across to Adrija, who's joining us. Adrija, this, of course, has been something that the TMC has been alleging for quite some time. Not just the TMC, other opposition parties as well. Other state governments have said that there is vendetta politics that's being played here. But if you can take us through the details of what happened today.
Well, yes. So today, first of all, the TMC workers staged a protest. They marched to the ED office and then they entered through the gates of the CGO complex inside the ED office. They were trying to go in, and that is exactly, they were continuously raising slogans, and that is exactly the time when they clashed with the central forces who were present at the gate. Now, after clashing with the central forces, they continued raising slogans, and they also handed over the logo of BJP, which is the lotus, to the central forces and have asked them to send it over to the ED officers because they wanted to make a gesture to show that ED is working as a part of BJP, and therefore ED should be putting up the logo of BJP itself in their office. So that's why they gifted that BJP logo to the ED office, and then they were marched out of the gate by the central forces, and then right outside the ED office gate, they demonstrated about how very interesting visuals they have demonstrated how the ED is rubbing the shoes of Modi and Amit Shah. There were people who were wearing the mask of Modi and Amit Shah, and they wanted to show that, these are the two people under whom CBI and ED is working. And especially this protest was, against the fact that Anubrata Mondal is arrested. And we have seen not only today, but also previously, right after the arrest of Anubrata Mondal, TMC have been holding large protests in various parts of Kolkata as well as West Bengal. And therefore, today's protest demonstration by the All India Trinamool Congress Youth Wing was another way for the TMC party to showcase that they are standing with Anubrata Mondal, and they still believe that he is not guilty. The slogans which they were raising, they also said that, Shubhendu Adhikari should also be arrested. They were raising slogans against him as well. And they have also made very clear that because Amit Shah is the Home Minister of the country, if cross-border smuggling is taking place under his clock, then he should also be brought down and questioned by the CBI.
Adrija, thank you so much for getting us all of those details. Let me welcome our guests who are joining us this evening, Dr. Indranil Khan, BJP spokesperson, and Professor Monojit Mondal, TMC spokesperson, joining us here. Professor Mondal, let me start with you first. This is a situation where, TMC has, of course, been alleging of misuse of central agencies for a while now. But how would you then respond to the fact of the kind of, issues that have cropped up, the kind of cases that have cropped up of ministers within the TMC?
There are issues, there are cases.
All right, I think we've lost that line with Professor Mondal. We will just... Yes, Professor Mondal, if my voice is reaching you, please go ahead.
I think there are issues, cases filed against the BJP.
All right, I think we seem to be facing a issue with that line, Professor Mondal. We'll just try and fix that for you. But meanwhile, let me go across to Dr. Khan, who is with us. Dr. Khan, if my voice is reaching you, this has been a situation where it's not just one party. Yes, the TMC today held protests over this entire issue, but there have been multiple such allegations of vendetta politics being played, of the central agencies being misused. What is your response? All right, I think we will just try and sort out those issues with regard to the audio that we are facing. But this is the situation at this point in time. There was a massive protest that were held in Kolkata by TMC workers, and you can see those visuals there on your screens at this point in time. Mr. Khan, if my voice is reaching you, my question was with regard to your response on these allegations that we're hearing, not just from one party, but across parties who are saying that BJP is indulging in vendetta politics and misuse of agencies.
Now, what the TMC is doing in the city of Kolkata is actually ridiculous. This is perhaps the first time across the world that we are witnessing a political party is protesting in demand for right to steal from the people of the state they rule. This is absolutely ridiculous. We have seen hoards of cash. We have seen so much tax of nearly 52 crore just recovered from just one minister. We have seen one political judge. He's a district president. And we are seeing that his bodyguard has more than 100 crore property. And more, so much of resorts, hotels, and all sorts of documents are just coming out. We have seen the education minister, who was till the other day saying that he doesn't know anything about the recruitment scam. We are seeing him having so much of illicit property, loads of tankers and all those stuff of all ill-gotten wealth. And when the ED and CBI, which are central agencies which are empowered by the Indian Constitution, and most of these are court-monitored probes also. And when they are doing their job, actually this job should have been done by the Kolkata police. This job should have been done by the West Bengal police. And the in charge, that is the Home Minister of West Bengal, is Mamata Banerjee herself. And it is the failure of the Home Minister, and it actually points to the connivance of the Home Ministry of West Bengal, the complicity of the Kolkata police and West Bengal police in all this cattle smuggling and other types of recruitment scams and all the ill-gotten wealth. So on one side we are seeing the entire administration of West Bengal is handing glove with the ruling party. They are running a smuggling mafia. They are running an illegal rackets. They are doing scams in the education sector, ruining the future of lives of lakhs of youth of West Bengal. And we are seeing also a political party who is just protesting on the streets, not for the demand of the right to education, not for the demand of right to jobs, not for the demand for right to electricity, but for the right to steal from the people of the state they rule. This is absolutely ridiculous, and I would like to ask the Election Commission of India to actually withdraw the affiliation of such a political party who openly comes to the streets to defend the thieves and who comes to who hits the streets in demand for the right to steal. What are they teaching the next generation
as far as certain
young
politicians of
youth,
the TMC
the children? What are they learning?
I agree with you on that, but it can't be ignored that how cases are dropped when somebody joins the BJP and how certain cases don't move forward as far as the BJP is concerned. But I'm afraid I'm going to end this discussion here. We seem to have lost that line with Professor Mondal. But thank you so much.
Why was there? Just I would like to add one point.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
I'd like to add one point. If the TMC is actually serious about other people who have joined the BJP and they feel that cases should be done against them, action should be done against them, then the TMC is the government, is the sitting government in West Bengal. They have the entire state police machinery. They have their own enforcement wing. Why are they have the courts to approach? Why are they not using their own department, their entire police force to actually do necessary action? And fine, we are open to the entire party is open, the entire opposition in West Bengal is open to such action, but they are busy in taking the ill-gotten wealth. They are using cut money from the TMC district presidents, from the TMC ministers, and that's why.
All right, Dr. Khan. I'm afraid we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.